first cry refers to a historical incident in which Filipinos ripped their cedulas, which Andres Bonifacio perceives as a symbol of the Filipinos' exploitation by the Spaniards. The Philippine Revolution of 1896 happened.
After over 3 centuries of Spanish colonial rule, the Philippine Revolution culminated on August 23 of 1896, where the times are deemed tumultuous and defined by unenlightened governance, outright oppression, rough attempts at reform, countless dispersed revolts, and other forms of opposition carried out by Filipinos. After early manifestations of reform such as the propaganda movement failed to secure the peacefulness and the desired change in the social, political, and economic life of the people, many have given up the hope for independence until Pugadlawin. The said event memorializes the First Cry of Pugadlawin is the foremost impactful revolt and defiance directed against the Spanish rule instigated by a brave and nationalistic group of people known as the Katipunan. The Katipunan or Kataas-Taasan, Kagalang-galang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan is a revolutionary society founded in July of 1892 led by their Supremo and founder Andres Bonifacio. Located in the outskirts of Manila, members of the group gathered at Pugadlawin where they symbolically tore up their cedulas, which serves as their identification receipts for payment and taxes. This is to show the spark of determination to take over the right to autonomy to our country from the Spaniards.
There are 5 accounts from 5 different people which pertains to events of the First Cry.
General Santiago Berata Alvarez, or also known by his nom de guerre Kidlat ng Apoy, is a revolutionary general, an important figure and founder of Nacionalista. His alias Kidlat ng Apoy was formed for his inflamed bravery and heroism during the battles on Cavite, which includes his greatest heroic act on Battle of the Alvarez's accounts specifically about the First Cry were important as most of his memoirs were based on the notes entrusted by those people who founded revolution. According to Alvarez's account, the First Cry happened on August 24, 1896 at the Sampanukan, a barrio wherein the house they called Bahay Toro is located. This house is owned by Cabezang Melchora Aquino, wherein most of them stayed in a big barn of Melchoras. So what exactly happened according to Alvarez? On rainy Friday night of August 21, 1896, the Katupuneros walked to Kangkong to reach the house of their fellow Katupunero Apollon. The next day, August 22, 1896, 5 in the morning, Andres Bonifacio began assigning some Katupuneros to guard the house backyard and one on their detachment at Balintawak boundary. Later that day, about 500 people assembled in Apollonio's house. All of them are carrying different weapons ranging from daggers and bolos to revolvers and rifles. Bonifacio at the time was agitated after the sudden attack of Spanish soldiers. He concluded that maybe one of the letter carriers from Emilio Jacinto has been captured and integrated by their enemies, which would lead to their location. Thus, he decided to move the meeting to Cabezang Melchora's house called Bahay. The next day, Monday, August 24, 1896, the meeting took place on Bahay Toro. About 1,000 people arrived at the said place. By 10 a.m., Bonifacio called everyone for a meeting on the barn of Bahay. By noon of that day, the meeting was ended and they shouted, "Long live the sons of the people." These are all the events happened during the First Cry according to Santiago.
Gregoria de Jesus was born in Caloocan on May 9, 1875. She is known by Ina ng Katipunan, Ina ng Himagsikan, and Lakambini ng Katipunan. Gregoria de Jesus, commonly called by the rebels Inang or Yam. In fact, among all people giving their accounts pertaining to the First Cry, Gregoria de Jesus is the only person among them who wasn't actually present in the place and time of the event, but she's with Bonifacio before he fled to Pugadlawin with his people. According to her account, she said that the First Cry happened near Caloocan on August 25, 1896. She went to Caloocan after she heard from her friends that she was going to be arrested. She immediately fled to join Andres Bonifacio. She protected the most secret documents, seals, and weapons of the Katipuneros that she even risked her life to just protect those items after the outbreak of the revolution in August 23, 1896. Guardia Civil Captain Olegario Diaz, a Spanish commander of Guardia Civil Veterana of Manila, was born on February 16, 1850. Who investigated the discovery of Katipunan, also included his official report findings on the site and date of the first rally of the revolution. According to his report, The first cry occurred on Balintawak on August 50, 1896. The conspiracy of having discovered Bonifacio and his followers hurriedly fled to the nearby town of Caloocan. On the 23rd of August 1896, Bonifacio moved to the barrio of Balintawak, followed by 200 men from Caloocan. On the 24th, they were attacked by the Guardia Civil in the outskirts of said town, and they retreated to their hiding places. The Supreme Council called for a big meeting to be held in the following day, August 25, in the Abomination Barrio, Balintawak. More than 5,000 members attended. The meeting began with the discussion of what course should be taken in the face of new situation, and in the view of the arrest of Vir being made. There were some who was disposed to go back, surrender to the Spanish authorities. Bonifacio was strongly opposed to such a course. He was taking up arms at once. Put to a vote, Bonifacio's proposal was approved by overwhelming majority.
P. Valenzuela, a Katipunan official and a friend of Andres Bonifacio, born on July 11, 1869. Valenzuela is an official and an avant-garde leader. He joined Society of Katipunan, a movement which wanted the Philippines free from the Spanish colonial rule. He formed a secret chamber of society with Andres Bonifacio and Emilio Jacinto called Camara Reina. His account became the basis of most accounts that came after. The following are the events that happened according to his account. August 19, 1896 was the day the Katipuneros gathered at the yard of Apolonio Samson's house. 500 of the Katipuneros congregated to discuss the events that will unfold for the revolution. On August 22, 1896, a meeting was held in Balintawak. Over 1,000 Katipuneros met, carried out debates, and discussed proceedings on the revolution against the Spanish colonizers. Views were exchanged and no resolution came into fruition. On August 23, 1896, there was a debate if the first attack against the Spaniards would be held on August 29 or not. Chodoro was against the decision of the date of the revolution. After the intense meeting, many of those who were at the place tore their cedulas and shouted, "Long live the Philippines! Long live the Philippines!"
Guillermo Rafael Masangkay, a friend and fellow Katipunero of Andres Bonifacio, was born on June 25, 1867 in Tondo, Manila. He was one of the Katipunan's main leaders.
On the day of August 26, 1896, he said that there was a big meeting held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, then cabeza of the barrio of Caloocan. Among those who attended were all the leaders of Katipunan and some board of directors of the organization. According to Masangkay, these were the events that happened during the first cry. August 26, at about 9 a.m., it was Andres Bonifacio who opened the meeting with Emilio Jacinto as the secretary to discuss when and where the uprising would take place. The first attack was supposed to be done on August 29, 1896, 3 days after the said meeting. But there were 3 people who opposed it: Teodoro Plata, Bricio Pantas, and Pio Valenzuela, thinking it's too early to start the revolution. Bonifacio thought he'd lose the discussion, so he went out to convince the people about the plan for the revolution. Later on, the people outside were convinced of his plan and told them to destroy their cedulas as a sign that all of them had declared their severance from the Spaniards. When the people's pledge was obtained by Bonifacio, he went inside again to tell the leaders the decision of the crowd. Masangkay also claimed that cedulas were torn more than once, from August 24 and August 26.